My name is Sophie. I am 28 years old. I live in a simple apartment in the city. The city is big and noisy, but my apartment is my quiet space. I have a job at a small, cozy bookstore. I love the smell of old books. I love the quiet sound of pages turning. My life was simple. It was calm. Maybe it was a little lonely, but I thought I was okay with that. I have always been a quiet person. I don't have many friends. I like to read books more than I like to go to parties. I dreamed of love, of course, like in the books I read. A simple, honest love. A love that felt safe, like coming home. I was waiting for that love. I was patient. Or maybe I was just scared to look for it. Then, one day, he walked into my bookstore. His name was Daniel. He was tall, with kind eyes and a warm smile. He didn't just buy a book and leave. He asked me questions. "What are you reading?" he asked. His voice was gentle. I showed him my book. We talked for a few minutes. About books, about the city. It felt easy, natural. He started coming to the bookstore often. Sometimes he bought a book. Sometimes I think he just came to talk to me. Our small talks became longer. He learned my favorite kind of tea. I learned he worked in architecture. He designed buildings. He made everything sound so interesting. He was passionate about his work. I started to look forward to his visits. My quiet days at the bookstore became a little brighter. When the little bell on the door rang, my heart would jump a little. Was it him? When it was, a smile would appear on my face without my permission. I felt a spark, a feeling I had only read about in my books. But there were small things. Things I noticed but didn't want to see. He only visited on weekdays, never on a weekend. He always paid with cash. He was careful with his phone. He would put it face down on the counter. Once, it rang while we were talking. He looked at the screen and his face changed. He quickly silenced the call. "Sorry," he mumbled. "Work." I nodded, but a small, strange feeling entered my heart. It felt like a little cloud covering the sun. I tried to ignore that feeling. I wanted the sunshine. I wanted to believe in his warm smile and his kind eyes. I was lonely, and he was the first person in a long time who made me feel seen. He made me feel special. One rainy afternoon, the bookstore was empty. It was just me and him. He was leaning against a bookshelf. We were talking. He looked at me for a long time with a serious expression. "Sophie," he said, his voice low, "I really enjoy our talks. I feel like I can be myself with you." My heart beat faster. "I enjoy them too, Daniel," I said softly. He took a deep breath. "There's something I need to tell you," he said. "I should have told you sooner." I waited. The strange little cloud in my heart grew bigger. "I'm married," he said. The words fell into the quiet room. Married. The word felt sharp. It pricked my happy bubble. I just stared at him. I couldn't speak. All the little things, the hidden phone, the weekday visits, they all made sense now. He saw the look on my face. He quickly continued. But it's over, Sophie. My marriage is over. We haven't been happy for years. We live like roommates. We sleep in separate rooms. It's just complicated. We haven't told people yet. We are just trying to figure out how to separate without a big fight. He looked so sad when he said it. His kind eyes looked broken. Meeting you, he whispered, is the first time I've felt happy in a very long time. I didn't plan for this to happen. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to tell him to leave. Part of me knew this was a bad situation, a dangerous one. But another part of me, the lonely part, heard his words. It's over. You make me happy. He looked so sincere, so sad. I wanted to comfort him. I wanted to believe him. And so I made my decision. I chose to believe him. I chose to believe in his empty promises. That was my first mistake. A big one. Our secret story began. It was exciting at first, and also terrifying. We started meeting outside the bookstore. We went to small cafes in parts of the city where no one would know us. We took long walks in parks late in the evening when the sky was dark. During these stolen moments, he was everything I ever dreamed of. He was attentive. He held my hand. He told me I was beautiful. He listened to my dreams. I told him I wanted to open my own little cafe one day, attached to a bookstore. He said, "We can do that, Sophie. One day. We can build it together." We made plans. So many plans. He described the house we would live in. A small house with a big garden for me. He talked about traveling together, seeing Paris, seeing the ocean. He painted a beautiful picture of our future, a future where his complicated situation was resolved, a future where we could be together, out in the open. Just give me a little more time, he would always say. I need to do this carefully, for legal reasons. I don't want her to take everything. Or he would say, she's very fragile right now. I have to wait for the right moment to tell her I'm leaving for good. I believed him. I held on to his words like a lifeline. His promises were the food for my hungry heart. They made the difficult parts feel okay. The difficult parts were many. The constant hiding was hard. I felt like I was living two lives. The quiet, simple Sophie at the bookstore, and the secret Sophie, who was in love with a married man. The loneliness came back, but in a new, sharper way. I couldn't share my happiness with anyone. I couldn't tell my parents I had met someone. I couldn't tell my one close friend, Sarah. I had to lie to them. When Sarah asked me what I did over the weekend, I had to make something up. Oh, I just stayed home, read a book. The truth was, I had spent the weekend waiting for a message from Daniel that never came, because weekends were for his other life, his real life. The anxiety was a constant hum in my chest. Every time my phone rang, I would jump. Was it him? Or was it someone who had discovered our secret? I started feeling guilty all the time. I was helping a man lie to his wife. Who was she? What was she like? Sometimes I would imagine her. Was she a bad person? Daniel said they argued a lot. He said she was cold and didn't understand him. I tried to picture her that way. It made the guilt easier to carry. There were moments of pure pain. Moments when the reality of the situation hit me hard. One time we were supposed to meet for dinner on my birthday. I was so excited. I bought a new dress. I waited at the restaurant. I waited for 1 hour. Then 2. He didn't come. He didn't call. I finally went home, my heart feeling like a heavy stone in my chest. He called the next day. "I'm so sorry, Sophie," he said. His voice was full of panic. "My wife, she had a family emergency. Her mother fell ill. I had to go with her to the hospital. I couldn't call. I'm so sorry." His excuse sounded real, plausible, so I forgave him. I always forgave him. Because the alternative, not having him at all, felt too painful to imagine. So I accepted the canceled plans. I accepted the weekend silence. I accepted being the secret. I told myself it was temporary. I just had to be patient. He said it was over with her. He promised. I lived on his promises for almost a year, a whole year of stolen moments, secret meetings, and a heart full of hope and anxiety. I was so focused on our imagined future, I didn't see how much my present life was shrinking. I was losing myself. The quiet, calm Sophie was gone. In her place was a nervous, sad woman who was always waiting. Then, one Thursday evening, everything changed. I was at home, making dinner. Just a simple meal for one. My phone rang. It was an unknown number. I usually ignore unknown numbers. But for some reason, I answered it. "Hello?" I said. A woman's voice answered. It was a calm voice, a tired voice. "Is this Sophie?" she asked. "Yes," I said. My hand holding the phone started to tremble. "This is Catherine," she said. "I'm Daniel's wife." The world stopped. Daniel's wife. Catherine. She had a name. She had a voice. She wasn't the cold monster I had imagined. She just sounded tired. My mind went blank. I couldn't speak. What could I say? She continued, her voice steady. "I know about you, Sophie. I've known for a few months. I found your messages on his phone." She paused. I could hear her take a slow breath. "I'm not calling to yell at you. I just think you deserve to know the truth." The truth? I thought I knew the truth. The truth was that their marriage was over. The truth was that he was leaving her for me. "What truth?" I whispered. My voice was shaky. "Daniel is not leaving me," she said. Her words were simple, direct. They hit me like a physical punch. "He tells you that, doesn't he? That it's over between us? He told the last girl that too." The last girl. The words echoed in my ears. I felt sick. "He's a liar, Sophie," Catherine said. Her voice was not angry. It was just filled with a deep, deep sadness. "He loves the attention. He loves the excitement. But he will never leave. He's too comfortable. He's too much of a coward. We just got back from a trip to the mountains. A family trip. For our anniversary." Anniversary. The word spun in my head. I thought about all the weekends he was silent, all the canceled plans, all the excuses. It was all a lie, a carefully built tower of lies, and I was living at the very top, in a room with no doors. He tells me he is trying to end it with you, Catherine continued softly. He says he made a mistake. He promises me he will stop seeing you. He makes promises to me too, you see. His promises are empty for everyone. Tears started to fall down my cheeks. I was silent. What could I say? She knew everything. I was the fool. The stupid, naive girl from the bookstore who believed the words of a man with kind eyes and a broken heart. But his heart wasn't broken. He was the one breaking hearts. Mine. And hers. I'm sorry, I managed to whisper. The words felt small, useless. Don't be sorry to me, she said. Her voice was a little stronger now. Be sorry to yourself. You deserve better than someone's stolen time. You deserve someone who can be with you on a weekend. Someone who can take you to dinner on your birthday. Goodbye, Sophie. She hung up. The line went dead. I stood there, in my kitchen, with the phone in my hand. The silence in my apartment was deafening. My whole world, the world I had built with Daniel for the last year, had shattered into a million tiny pieces. His promises were not just empty. They were poison, and I had been drinking it every single day. The rest of the night was a blur. I cried. I cried until I had no more tears. I felt so much pain. But underneath the pain, there was something else. A cold, hard anger. An anger at Daniel for his lies. And an anger at myself for being so blind. For wanting to believe in a fairy tale so much that I ignored all the signs. The next day, Daniel came into the bookstore. He was smiling, his usual warm, kind smile. He had no idea what had happened. He walked towards me. "Hey, you," he said softly. I looked at him, really looked at him. For the first time, I didn't see the charming man I had fallen for. I saw a stranger. I saw a liar. I saw the coward his wife talked about. "We need to talk," I said. My voice was cold, empty. We went to the back room of the store. He looked confused. "What's wrong, Sophie?" "Catherine called me yesterday," I said. The color drained from his face. His smile vanished. He looked trapped. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. "She told me everything," I continued. My voice was steady now, strong. "About your anniversary trip. About the other girl before me. About your empty promises. The ones you make to her and the ones you make to me." He just stared at the floor. He couldn't even look at me. "Sophie, I can explain." He started to mumble. "No," I said, cutting him off. "There is nothing to explain. There is only the truth. And the truth is, you are a liar. And I am done. It's over." I used his own words against him. It's over. But this time, it was real. He looked up then, his eyes full of panic. "Please, Sophie, don't do this. I love you." I almost laughed. Word love from his mouth sounded like a joke now. No, you don't, I said calmly. You don't love me. And you don't love her. You only love yourself. Now please leave my bookstore, and don't ever come back. He stood there for a moment. He looked small, weak. Then he turned and walked away. The little bell on the door rang as he left. And for the first time in a year, that sound didn't make my heart jump with hope. It made me feel free. The weeks after that were hard. So hard. I had to heal from a relationship that most people didn't even know existed. I couldn't talk about my heartbreak openly, but I told my friend Sarah everything. I cried, and she just listened. It felt good to finally tell the truth. Healing was a slow process. I had to learn to live in my quiet apartment again. But this time, I tried to make the quiet peaceful, not lonely. I started painting. I filled my apartment with colors. I reconnected with my old dreams, the dream of my own cafe and bookstore. I learned a very painful lesson. I learned that if a love story has to be a secret, it is not a love story. It is a tragedy waiting to happen. I learned that my desire to be loved made me ignore my own intuition. That little cloud I felt in my heart at the beginning, that was my true self, trying to warn me. I learned to listen to that voice now. It's been a year since that last day. My life is quiet again. But it is a good quiet. I am saving money, for real this time, for my little cafe. I am still healing, but I feel stronger. I am learning to be happy on my own. I am learning that I am enough. I don't need someone else's empty promises to feel whole. If you are listening to my story, maybe you feel lonely too. Maybe you are holding on to a promise that feels a little empty. Please, listen to your heart, the real part of your heart, the part that whispers the truth. Don't be afraid of being alone. Being alone is much better than being with someone who makes you feel lonely. You are strong. You deserve an honest love, a love that can walk in the sunshine, and you can find it. But first, you must find and love yourself. Keep going. You can do this.